How you guys doing? The reality of the situation with me is that I wasn't able to get up a video yesterday, was very tired. Got to give credit out there to a lot of fans, a lot of people on YouTube. And I'll admit that I was wrong about this Giants defense for the first week, at least for the first week of the season. Bethea is not good. Tay Davis, Alec Ogletree. This defense was an absolute embarrassment yesterday. You had guys running 30 yards open down the field that even high school defenses wouldn't be making those kind of mistakes. And I'll tell you what, when you look at the talent on this team, you have Jabril Peppers, who's a first-round pick. You have DeAndre Baker, who is a first-round pick, who in the SEC led up the least amount of yards ever, including talented receivers in the SEC. You have Julian Love, who's a highly touted kid. You had Corey Ballantyne, who we all could see has talent. You have Jack Rabbit Jenkins, who's one of the highest paid players in the NFL. And you have a veteran in Antoine Bethea, who's played a lot of football before. You had an entire training camp to get ready for the opening game against Dak Prescott. Now, a lot of credit needs to be given to Dak Prescott and to the offense. The Cowboys look like a different team with Kellen Moore than they do with Scott Linehan. And could Kellen Moore potentially be another Sean McVay? Could he be a legend of football? Could he be a Hall of Fame football coach someday? It very well could be. Chris Richard is on his way to a Hall of Fame NFL career. He's one of the best defensive minds in the game right now. I think he's the best defensive coach in the NFL, in the entire league. So a lot of credit has to be given to the Dallas Cowboys for the coaching staff that they have around Jason Garrett. I think Jason Garrett is an all-right coach, but he's surrounded with outstanding teachers. And the New York Giants have no teachers. James Bettcher is a flat-out embarrassment right now to the New York Giants. The fact that John Mara is paying James Bettcher to be an employer of the New York Football Giants is flat-out disgusting. He's the worst defensive coordinator the Giants have ever had. He's worse than Perry Fewell. He's a lot worse than Steven Spagnuolo. One of the worst defensive performances that we've ever seen from the New York Football Giants. And there were signs that James Bettcher sucked last year. He was terrible versus Jameis Winston. He let Jameis Winston, Nick Mullins, Carson Wentz, everybody tooled around with James Bettcher. When the Giants had a lead against the Carolina Panthers, he let Cam Newton just waltz right down the field and kick that field goal. Snacks Harrison was never able to get any pressure to the quarterback. But the bottom line is, if Dave Gettleman is paying Alec Ogletree, if Dave Gettleman is paying Antoine Bethea, if he's paying Marcus Golden and all these guys, he needs to be held responsible for the defense that he's assembled. And I'm not saying ever to get rid of Dave Gettleman, but right now it's a disappointment for Dave Gettleman, and he needs to fix this mess. If not this year, then next year and the year after that. All I want to see is improvement from this defensive side of the football, because I believe Dave Gettleman did do some really good things with this team, and there were positives to take away from yesterday. The bottom line is, as a New York Giants fan, I'm tired of losing year after year. I'm tired of living in Philly and just getting people making fun of the New York Giants. It's awful when you see how successful the Eagles are, how successful the Cowboys are, and to constantly be in a state of losing. It's just gotten to the point where it's infuriating. To continue to come on here and to continue to ask for better things for the New York Giants, it's very, very tough. Very tough. Yesterday's game, seeing that defense look like a high school team, unprepared, certainly now this defense, it's going to be tough to win games. And I just want to win football games. And we cleaned up the culture, which I'm very happy about. And I'll talk about the positives from yesterday. Eli Manning looked really good yesterday. This offensive line with Saquon Barkley was running the ball effectively yesterday. Evan Ingram had his best game that we've seen in a very long time. People absolutely wrote off the Giants wide receivers and said the Giants wide receivers are awful. Well, Cody Latimer made outstanding plays yesterday. Benny Fowler with that toe drag along the sideline. Eli Manning looked very, very good yesterday. Very accurate, was under duress the entire time. The pass protection was awful yesterday. Every play action fake, the Giants were getting blown up. You got to give credit to the Cowboys defense, but offensive line-wise, the pass protection was absolutely atrocious yesterday, and Eli Manning did whatever he could. Sterling Shepard looked unbelievable. The run after the catch was absolutely outstanding. The Cowboys played a lot of conservative zones, and the Giants ate up those zones. The Giants moved the football. If the Giants had any defense, the Giants would have been able to score a lot of points on the Cowboys yesterday. We probably could have scored 31 points on those guys. Eli Manning's arm strength looks fine. Eli Manning can play in this league. 300 yards, a touchdown pass, no turnovers. Eli Manning, this offense looks really, really good against a very good defense. Saquon Barkley with that big run in the first half, catching screen passes, spinning off of players. He, of course, we know that he's a talented running back, and he lived up to the billing yesterday. Sterling Shepard and Evan Ingram look fantastic. This offense, every time the Giants went to the Cowboys to play, whether it was with McAdoo or last year with Odell Beckham Jr., not having Odell Beckham Jr., not having Ben McAdoo, our offense is rolling. And you got to give credit to Gettleman for getting rid of Odell Beckham Jr., for bringing in Kevin Zeitler, for bringing in Jalapeno. The offensive line with Will Hernandez and Nate Solder, and now with Mike Remmers, it's a complete overhaul by Dave Gettleman, and that's where he succeeded the most. So I got to give Dave Gettleman a lot of credit for giving us some offensive talent in terms of the offensive line. Defensively, James Bettcher, if he does not improve, he's got to be shown the door quickly. For the New York Giants, Pat Shurmur, it just comes down to coaching. It was a coaching mismatch yesterday. You had Kellen Moore, who was absolutely outstanding. He absolutely took a dump on James Bettcher's head. Kellen Moore, John Kitna, excellent job by Jerry Jones in assembling a staff. Dak Prescott looked excellent yesterday. Randall Cobb and Michael Gallup. Some of the plays with DeAndre Baker, he is a press corner. So you can't have him off of the line of scrimmage and then have Amari Cooper just run right by him. DeAndre Baker's not the fastest guy in the world. He's a physical press corner. He's like an Xavier Rhodes. You need to have him in press coverage. James Bettcher is a terrible teacher. As a coach, you need to teach your defense what to do. You need to communicate effectively and have your team listen to instructions and be in the right spot. And James Bettcher is doing a horrible job at getting his guys in the right spot. Antoine Bethea, you're an old safety. You're a veteran in this league, and you were downright awful at getting your guys in the right spot. Alec Ogletree's played in this league. He was horrendous at getting the guys in the right spot. Janoris Jackrabbit Jenkins, you know what? If you are going to still play, you got to be worth something. If this defense continues to suck, not only is Eli Manning not going to play anymore, because then it's going to be pointless to have Eli Manning playing, even if Eli's playing really well, but Jackrabbit Jenkins is then going to be gone too, because you got to see then what kids can play. Eventually, it's going to be like preseason, and you just got to get the young kids in and get them a lot of snaps. Ryan Connolly out there playing a lot of snaps. You could point to the excuse of these kids are young, but so are Green Bay. And Mike Pettin is in year 2, and Mike Pettin has that defense rolling. Chuck Pagano's a good defensive coach. Wade Phillips. You could find good defensive coordinators. Quinn might get fired from the Atlanta Falcons. Ron Rivera might get fired from the Carolina Panthers. You got to get in a defensive coordinator, whether it's Leslie Frazier or anybody. You got to get in a defensive coordinator that could tell these kids where to be. I mean, when DeAndre Baker was getting burned by Michael Gallup, I wasn't as upset because it was man-to-man coverage. Dak Prescott made good throws, and Michael Gallup just ran by Amari Cooper. And Dak Prescott played an outstanding game of football, and he was very aggressive. And Dak Prescott reminds me of the quarterback of LSU, Joe Burrow. Both of them are not the most talented of guys, but they're very smart. They have great touch on a football, and this new offensive system is liberating them to do things that they have never considered even possible. So I got to give a lot of credit to the Dallas Cowboys, and it was tough to prepare for Kellen Moore. Now, the New York Giants, the good news is we're going to learn if James Bettcher is completely a fraud very soon. The New York Giants have Jameis Winston, who is an interception machine. They have Josh Allen, who also throws a lot of interceptions. You're going to have Case Keenum or Dwayne Haskins as their quarterback of the Redskins, and then you're going to have Kirk Cousins. So the good news is it's not like you're playing Drew Brees and Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes in the next couple of weeks. You're playing very average quarterbacks by NFL standards. So you know what? You're going to be able to play young quarterbacks, and you're going to see how your team can fare versus quarterbacks that aren't that good. And if your defense continues to suck, then James Bettcher's got to leave, because there's got to be improvement on the defensive side of the football. It's very frustrating continuing to lose football games, to be the bottom feeder of the NFL. It's very discouraging for young kids growing up to see the Giants continuing to lose games and be non-competitive, and every single game against the Cowboys not winning, every single game against the Eagles. Enough's enough with losing football games. I'm very tired of losing football games. I'm very tired of it. It's embarrassing. Lorenzo Carter was awful. All the hope of Marcus Golden and Lorenzo Carter. Lorenzo Carter was absolutely a zero yesterday. He was horrible. The pass rush of Dexter Lawrence, I would talk to people on the phone who said the Dexter Lawrence pick was a great pick, and they said that Dexter Lawrence can be an awesome pass rusher, and yesterday we got no indication that Dexter Lawrence can be a very good pass rusher. He did absolutely nothing yesterday. BJ Hill, I know he got poked in the eye. He downright couldn't get to the quarterback. So I'll admit it, I was dead wrong on this defense for week one. I might have been dead wrong on the defense for the entire season. All we could do is predict. You get some predictions right, you get some predictions wrong. When you look at some of the predictions I made, I thought the Jaguars would be a good team and would beat the Kansas City Chiefs. I got that one wrong. I thought the Miami Dolphins would come out and play well against the Baltimore Ravens. That couldn't have been more wrong. I thought Kyler Murray would have a very consistent good game yesterday, and I was wrong. But I was right on the Cleveland Browns sucking through 1 week. I was correct on that. I was also correct on the New York Jets and Sam Darnold not being very good. And I was one of the first ones to say that about Sam Darnold and the New York Jets. And that reaction will be coming out soon. For this New York Giants team going forward against Buffalo, if they could somehow run the football against the Buffalo Bills, I'll be happy. If they can somehow be in the right spots defensively. And think about it. It's a 1 o'clock game. You're at home. You're playing Cole Beasley, John Brown, Robert Foster, and Zay Jones. Not exactly Amari Cooper or Michael Gallup. This is a wonderful, wonderful test to see where we are defensively. Offensively, we're playing a hell of a football team. We're playing a great Buffalo Bills defense. One that completely dominated against the New York Jets team. It's going to come down to running the football, finding creative ways to get Saquon Barkley the ball. I think Pat Shurmur can handle this test. He handled the Bears at home last week. It's a winnable game. It's a game the Giants need to win. If the Giants don't win, if they start out 0-2, it's going to be a long year. Bottom line is it's time to put up or shut up and get a W on the board, because then you go down to Florida for a very tough game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's a tough place to play in Tampa. And then you head back and you play a Minnesota team that looks really good. Play the Redskins. And then you go to the Patriots. That's going to be a dead loss probably. You have the Cowboys later in the year. You have the Packers and Bears later in the damn year. You have the Eagles and the Cowboys. So it's about time to start getting W's, or this fan base is going to completely crawl up under a rock. For Pat Shurmur on 3rd and 1, I'm tired of those play calls. I'm tired of that play action fake on 3rd and 1. Just hand the ball off to Saquon Barkley and get a damn first down. I liked how Pat Shurmur showed emotion, but the bottom line is on 3rd and 1, you got to get a first down there on 3rd and 1. That's embarrassing stuff. On 1st and 20, you're holding on defense. This defense is terrible. The personnel that Gettleman has assembled has been awful so far, and James Bettcher was a complete fool. I mean, he had all training camp to teach. And this week, in the next couple of weeks, he better start teaching. He better start coaching, or he's an embarrassment. For John Mara to say that this is our leader of our defensive side of the football, it's quite embarrassing so far that James Bettcher is the leader of this defensive side of the football. I'm really tired of losing. I'm tired of being a laughingstock. And yesterday, it was 35-10. The offense came to play. The defense, what a putrid crap performance by this defensive staff. I don't want to go 6-10. I don't want to have the haters be right about the New York Giants. I'm tired of people feeling apathetic about the Giants, but I'm also frustrated in the New York Giants that we haven't been able to assemble a winning product or make any progress. Offensively, we made good progress. Eli, Evan Ingram, offensive line. Offense is looking really good. It's time for both to play in congruency. Let's have a close game against Buffalo and let's win a damn game against Buffalo. Could James Bettcher improve? He has to, or he's going to be fired immediately. I don't want to give up 28, 35 points to these Buffalo Bills next week. I want to create some turnovers. I want us to get some pressure on the quarterback. There needs to be instruction on how to rush a quarterback. We're going right in the blocks. Even when we're blitzing, we're late. Even when we're blitzing, we're thinking and we're not getting to the quarterback. We're not getting knockdowns. We're not extending or diving on Dak Prescott. He had all day to throw the ball yesterday. It sucks losing, and it sucks being a losing franchise that's a joke of a franchise for a long time. Constantly, when we're assessing Cowboys and Eagles games, we're talking about losing. We're talking about losing. We're talking about getting embarrassed. We're talking about not even sniffing wins. It's freaking embarrassing being a Giants fan. It's very difficult. And that's why I'm proud of Giants fans for sticking with this team. I think the offense is headed towards good times. I trust what Gettleman's doing. I'm not sure if I trust Pat Shurmur in this offense. It's an all right offense. I don't think it's amazing, but it's certainly getting better. James Bettcher is flat out abysmal. He's a joke. And he's not giving us many reasons to get excited about his work, for sure. Shurmur's an all right head coach, but now you're going to have to start thinking about if this defensive coordinator is the right guy for the New York Giants. And for these young kids now, are they going to be taught in the right way? Are the veterans like Buffet and all these other guys, you now have stuff on tape. Can you correct the stuff that's on tape? That remains to be seen. It's a very tough time to be a Giants fan, but we got Buffalo and now we're into our season. It's 16 games. Let's enjoy this season. Let's come out here and let's show improvement this week and get better and get a win on the defensive side of the damn football. Let's see what we can do. If the team doesn't win, then Daniel Jones is coming in. We're a flat-out joke again. I'll give credit to Justin, Lil Yankee King. I'll give credit to the fans that were hating on the Giants. You guys were certainly correct through 1 week of the season. If you're a Giants fan that had their worries about this defense, you are indeed correct in your criticisms. I don't like doing this anymore. It's tough investing in something and getting let down a lot. Getting your ass kicked in. Being around Eagles fans, watching them have a great team again, and I just hope we can figure it out, and I hope we can learn this week. I hope these young players, you know what I really hope? I hope these young players can learn some football this week. I hope James Bettcher can actually teach the game of football to these young kids. I hope that he can teach them how to play football. That's what I want. That's all I'm asking for. I just want him to educate this defense. Is he a capable educator? Is he capable of teaching the game of football, or is he not? That's all that remains to be seen for this week. A lot more content coming. Thank you guys for watching the video. Have a beautiful Monday. God bless and take care, guys. Thank you.